Hopefully that's straight. I'm gonna test out a new GoPro here. Just wanted to get a vlog going and start talking about what's going on. Today's topic will be about the Chevy Colorado Duramax, baby Duramax as it's affectionately called. Just want to say I'm a huge fan. The Colorado is a great platform, and the little Duramax is just a trooper. Currently, I'm not sitting in the Duramax. I'm sitting in a Colorado with a V6. It's a loaner vehicle that the dealership gave me because the Duramax was having some issues related to coolant temperature sensor readings. Basically, I'd be driving, 10-15 minutes, all of a sudden my coolant temperature would drop to 0 and it would go into reduced power mode. I'll try to see if I can get some video of that. I think I took some on the phone, and I'll see if I can upload that. But other than that, I mean, the first year that I had it was a 2016. Everything was great. Fuel economy is fantastic. Can get from here down to the beach, an hour or two drive. I can easily get 35 miles to the gallon on the highway in a truck, especially one with a long bed. That's pretty awesome. So it's a small truck in comparison. Dad has the big Duramax, the big heavy duty, Chevy heavy duty 2500, and it is a small truck compared to that. But you compare this to older Silverados, 1500s from a few years ago. This is the same size as they were. Everything's gotten bigger and bigger, and I think this is a perfect fit. Colorado fits right in there in the middle, to where I can still fit it into the garage. So, for example, ignore how messy the windshield is in the garages, but I can fit it in the garage next to my other vehicle, which is also fantastic, and that's a Chevy Cruze diesel. So it's not labeled Duramax, but it is still a Chevy diesel. It's a 2-liter. They put the proper emissions equipment on it so that it's not having the same issues as Volkswagen, and it's not all that stuff. And as the first year came out, so it's a 2014 Chevy Cruze. I'll do another video specifically about that. But today I wanted to talk about the differences between this Colorado, the V6 2017, and my 2016, and the way that I have it spec'd out. So first is, this is a loaner, so there's nothing fancy here. There's no automatic climate control. These little settings here. It's missing a lot of other features, safety features. The forward collision alert, buttons aren't here. The lane departure warnings, which can be annoying, but they're not present either, and I think they do serve a good purpose. So you're limited here. This doesn't have 4-wheel drive like my Colorado does, but everything else is pretty nice. And the one thing that I really wanted to mention was right here. This, on the 2017s, this armrest with the stitching around it and padding is fantastic. This was not available in my 2016 as far as I know. I got basically an LT model. They don't have LTZ, but I got an LT model that was basically fully spec'd with everything except for the Z71 package. And because you can't get full leather seats in the Z71, you can actually spec out an LT much higher than you can a Z71. And so that's what I did. And again, I'll link the video to that once I get it back from the shop. So we just dropped it off on Friday. Today's Sunday, so I expect to hear from them tomorrow or Tuesday. No big deal. They give me a loaner. It serves the same purpose. This one has a short bed on it, and like I said, a couple other features that I miss. Not having XM radio and stuff enabled, is a simple creature comfort. It's nothing, no big deal. But the armrest, this thing is fantastic. I didn't notice it at first, and then all of a sudden I was just driving and was like, what the heck, like this thing is soft and is nice. And I think mine is wrapped, I don't even know if it's actually leather, but it's wrapped in a like a harder plastic or leather material almost. It's softer than the plastic on the doors, but it's still not great. So once I drop this vehicle off, I'm going to talk to them in the parts department over there at the dealership and see if they can't order the 2017 armrest here in black to match my interior, and see if I can't put that in. It could be complicated. I mean, I'll certainly do a video on it. We'll have to figure out how this hinge works and how it attaches, but there's probably already videos online of somebody doing something, because I know the Canyons had a more plush top, and I think this might be from the Canyons, and that's, you know, and it was desired enough in the Colorados that they added that or added something similar. So I'll definitely do more videos about that, and more videos about you know, the family, the house, our journey, and where I'm trying to go with this YouTube video, or the YouTube channel. You know, I got some plans. It really comes down to, you know, story making. I'm a terrible storyteller, if you haven't noticed already. So hopefully through this process of trying to do, you know, vlogs, they're not going to be daily, but trying to do some vlogs and going and talking about things I enjoy. You know, diesels right now are phenomenal. If you compare to any other like turbocharged vehicle, the gas efficiency is awesome, and my torque and towing is excellent. You know, even the wife notices, you know, seat of the pants type of feeling when she had a loaner for the Cruise and all the NOx sensors it had. They gave her another Cruise with a 1.8 liter in it, and she even said, like, this thing is slow. Like, it just doesn't have that you know, push you back in your seat sort of a feeling from all the torque that the diesels have. So you know, I'll do more videos on that and the differences, and I can whip up some pictures of that. I'll pop the hood. This is the V6, and it's red. I never a fan of red vehicles, but this thing is not bad. I mean, it's kind of the bright red, which I don't think I would ever actually buy, but I can understand how people could enjoy that. The gray interior isn't bad. Again, for a loaner, this thing is pretty well decked out. The steering wheel isn't wrapped in that hard plastic. It's kind of a, I don't know if it's real leather, but it's a leather feel to it. I still have the button controls on the front of the steering wheel, and on the back it still has the lever for your volume controls, and then on the other side for your station controls. You know, it's still touchscreen. It has a backup camera. Our last loaner for the Cruise, the 2015 Cruise they loaned us, didn't even have a backup camera. So, you know, there's definitely some other things, some other options that I would recommend. And when I get my truck back, I'll talk more about those specific topics. But this isn't bad for a loaner. You know, they gave me a loaner with what, 1,600 miles on it. Again, 2017 hasn't done much as far as been beat up by all the other people, you know, using it and stuff like that. So it's not too bad at all. I did go through and, you know, hopefully it's not a big deal, but I went through, added some, you can edit your lists and see all the different options here. So I did turn on stuff like fuel economy for to check out the V6 and stuff like that, and I think right now it's not great at all. In comparison to the diesels, this is not great, but I know they're trying. So right now, since I've been driving it 77 miles at 20 miles a gallon, you see the little V6 symbol down there. When you're cruising on the highway, it'll actually drop down to V4, and your economy will go up quite a bit because it does the cylinder deactivation, which is awesome. And you don't notice it at all, which is phenomenal. I know when they had the original Colorados with wasn't like a 5-cylinder, they were awful. So this is definitely a big improvement. I'm a huge fan of what GM is doing in the mid-size truck segment, and yeah, I mean, I couldn't speak more about it. You know, I'll have another story about that. But had the Jeep Wrangler, a '98 TJ before this. The positive thing about that, I had that for like 12 years and only ever had, one check engine light, and then I had to rebuild the transmission. And other than that, a lot of the issues with that were all self-inflicted. Whereas, between the 2016 Colorado and the 2014 Cruise, these things have been in the shop a little too often. Now, both versions are the first year where they offered the diesel, and I know the Cruise, they've redone it. They put a 1.6, the same thing that they're doing in the Equinox, or Equinox, or however you want to say it. So I know they've kind of stepped back and redid that one, because with the 2-liter, it's a great engine. I can't speak highly enough of that engine and drivetrain. It's all the emissions equipment crap that they put on there. Now, any respectable diesel guy is going to delete it, but I'm not. I mean, the wife drives that car. I'm not going to delete it because it has a 100,000-mile warranty on it. And again, I'll talk more about that in another video about the issues that we've gone through and GM's response and stuff like that. But the warranty's there for a purpose. I work 40-50 hours a week. I don't have time to be wrenching on a vehicle anymore like I did with the Jeep. I learned how to wrench on a vehicle because I own a Jeep. They kind of go hand in hand. I'll also do some videos on, I don't know if you can see it back there. No, you can't. But the very back of the garage there is the Harley Sportster. I'll do some videos on that. I have to fix one of the mirrors on it, so I'll probably whip up a video of me doing that once I buy some new mirrors that I like. Other than that, stay tuned. We'll have some more videos. This GoPro looks like it's doing awesome. I'm gonna fiddle around with some editing stuff and probably have to go and buy some other accessories and get a suction cup or something so I can give you some driving videos. I'll do an outside of the Colorado here, of the loaner, outside view, because it is a good looking red. Again, both my vehicles are the same color because I have a personal preference. And I've almost fallen out of this thing at least like 3 or 4 times because mine has the step and this one doesn't. So there's a little bit of a gap here. If you're ever going to lift it or anything like that, I would strongly recommend you get the side steps or the off-road rails that they have, because if not, you're talking a little bit tall and there's not much to grab onto. There's not much purchase you can get